Texas Podcast Massacre contains spoilers and adult language. For more horror, visit us at our website at texaspodcastmassacre.com.
Welcome to another episode of Texas Podcast Massacre, coming to you from Houston, Texas. I'm your host, Mitch, and with me, as always, is the chatterer to my hell priest, Nate.
I take the chatterer over hell priest. If like someone had to call me a name, like chatterer compared to that seems pretty reasonable.
Yeah, well, that's why I gave it to you.
I have such chattering delights to show you.
Oh, great. I'm excited. Welcome to another episode of Texas Podcast Massacre.
I'm excited. All right.
I'm excited.
There you go.
I'm yeah.
Pleasure. You're the guy who's just you're just going in, you're just like letting this thing cut you over and over again. You're like, yeah, keep it going. Let's keep this train moving here.
Look, welcome to another episode, of Texas Podcast Massacre, where each week we take a look at a different horror movie and debate a horror-related topic with our unsuspecting victim, usually not someone we would consider a horror fan. This week, we are bringing you both pleasure and pain with the latest Hulu adaptation of Hellraiser, which we got to see as a secret screening. I'm not saying that we're better than anyone because of that. I'm just saying that Nate thinks so. But the point is,
no, never.
No, we got to see it early, so we wanted to, I think, talk about it now that it's released for everyone and people have kind of been able to see it now. We will of course have still a spoiler free section of this, but gonna talk about the new one. Now we had just done Hellraiser 2, so. That's a minor debate question.
Hellraiser 2 : Hellbound. Just got to throw that out there.
Well, no, it's Hellbound : Hellraiser 2.
Well, exactly. Yeah. So I mean, it has the colon in it.
What Nate, we've talked about this previously. We've always done not the original, like not the first of the series. What about reboot? So like, what if we had done this Hellraiser first? Is that in line with our never doing the first of a series? Because this is a reboot. I'm going to assume
absolutely. Yeah. Because the first ever movie we ever did in the podcast was Alien Covenant. Don't listen to it. The audio quality is terrible. But that is a sequel to a prequel. That was the first movie we ever did. So yeah, I think that's fine. Absolutely no problems with that.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Right? I mean, it's on brand for us.
It is. Yeah. So this is. This was something. I'm excited to see. I will say it was interesting watching this in theaters versus I think what most people are obviously doing is streaming it. Maybe you have a home theater or a really bougie setup, or maybe you're just watching on your phone. I think I'm curious if you think the experience is going to be different. We'll get into that, but you can certainly check it out on Hulu. Before obviously we get into this week's movie of the week, let's have a debate question, of course.
Bid our father, the Sea King, rise from the depths full foul in his fury, black waves teeming with salt foam, to smother this young mouth with pungent slime.
Haven't had enough pungent slime lately.
I'm hijacking this because I have a Mitch like rant to go on here. You ready for this?
Oh shit.
Okay. I didn't even wait for you to say okay. I just went for it.
Oh yeah.
So it's
like that meme of that, like the girl is like yelling, the mom just like has the blanket pulled up, like her eye, like what the hell is this happening? That's my expression right now. Go ahead. Sorry.
What that is, but it sounds good. Unlike what I'm about to talk about. So in the preparation for Hellraiser this week, doing a lot of, looking up the movie, how people are liking it, what they're talking about. I can tell you the speed of Cenobites in the Dead by Daylight game. Mitch, your all-time favorite game.
That no one will ever play with me, but yes, go ahead.
No one will ever play with you. I looked up a lot of stuff.
Sorry, I have a rant to cut off your rant. Why do I have to get my friends to change port settings to crossplay? Every game in existence has figured out how to crossplay between your Xbox and your PC. Yeah, somehow this game requires you to reconfigure your port settings. Do you know how hard it is to try to get your dumbass friends to configure their port settings to play a game, to do something besides Halo for the 800th fucking time? Get your shit together. Get in a shit factory. Put in a shit. I don't care. But Dead by Daylight, fix
go to
your
a port
shit.
Factory.
Go to a port factory. Fix it. Get your extra ports, whatever you need to make crossplay work seamlessly. Go ahead, Nate.
Yeah, get the containers. Put them in the ports. Yeah,
you didn't know that your rant was going to get superseded by my rant. So there. I
don't know. Yeah, I liked it. It's a cascading effect. Are we in the second configuration now? What's happening? So anyway, man, I kind of lost my. I took away your thunder of this. But okay, so in preparation for this movie, looking at everything, looking at the reviews, and obviously looking up all the actors and actresses and the director and everything that we normally do. We'll have a little bit more information on this one because we were in the theater for a nice Q&A with the people that actually did the movie with some cool information. But as I was looking through, I was just looking around, just looking around on sites, and there was more than one secret screening. There's more than one secret screening at Fantastic Fest. The other was, of course, worst movie of the festival, Werewolf by Night. Werewolf by Night, Mitch, is a 7.5 on IMDb and a 91% on Rotten Tomatoes. My rant is basically this. All ratings are garbage. So they're all garbage. If Werewolf by Night is one of the top horror movies of the year, according to people, I don't know what the fuck's happening. So anyway, not much of a Mitch rant there, but just what is happening?
Now I'm worried. Did you pull back because I just threw you off your game, or is that really all you were going to give me?
I was going to do more, but I lost steam. I lost steam. I lost steam with port settings. I wish I could have changed the port settings and changed the movie while this was screening at the festival. Yeah, it's I cannot believe how well received this not good 50-some minute movie is. I don't understand.
Well, okay, listen, Martin Scorsese. Here's the
hold on. I'm bushing up my eyebrows. Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, so first off,
you know how Werewolf by Night was better than Black Phone. You know how it is.
Well, okay, so let's unpack two different things. Was Werewolf by Night the worst thing I saw at the festival?
Yeah,
probably not. No, it wasn't. Now, am I disappointed it was one of the secret screenings? Of course. I mean, it was coming out in a week. It's not even really a full-length film. Marvel is so mainstream too. You kind of go to those kind of we go to those movie festivals because we want to see shit that's either a little hard or a little more buzz around it.
Ideally good would be a factor as
now, but Werewolf by Night it certainly has it's certainly more of an homage, and it has that aesthetic of like the old school, Halloween, like monster movies, right? I mean, it's the story. Yeah, some
of my favorite films are good versions of that.
And the story in itself is decent.
Look at this review from CNN.
Okay.
Told with wry humor while tapping into unexplored quadrants of comic lore. It's a bit too gory and scary for younger kids, but a gift to fans that raises enticingly monstrous possibilities. Monstrous had a hyphen in it. That is not the movie I watched. What is happening?
Well,
I never do this. This is the only movie I will ever do this for.
It was fairly gory for a Marvel film that people might take their kids to.
Oh my God. Take the kids to on Disney Plus. I just go watch Hocus Pocus too. Just save everyone some time. That would be my take.
But this movie or Hocus Pocus 2, you'd go Hocus Pocus 2, huh?
Not quite as toothsome as one might hope, but no howler either. This is a thin, fun Marvel outing that hints at bigger monster business to come. Oh, so the best thing about it is that there might be more good monsters potentially in the future? Okay, we're in agreement. Unfortunately, that was a positive review instead of negative. So I guess I'm in agreement with some of these. All right, I'm done. This segment will never happen again, but I just wanted to get that out there.
I mean,
what is happening? These are the same people who thought It Comes at Night was incredible. Maybe that's it. I don't know.
Do you think this is a case?
Oh, they both have night in it. They both have night in 3 words. Oh my God.
Do you think this is a case where you're just, because look, you are heavily biased against Marvel films, period, right?
I'm biased against bad films.
What is the highest rated Marvel? What is the highest rating? If we were going to do a final cut on any Marvel movie, what would get the highest rating and what would that rating be?
Probably like a 7.
Okay, and what movie?
Maybe. Oh God.
I'm definitely going to judge you on your answer, by the way. But that's
Winter Soldier or that first Marvel one where Thanos was like a slasher dude murdering everyone. But then they all came.
You mean the Infinity War?
Worthless. Yeah, that one. Yeah, that was actually like, oh, people are actually like getting like ganked.
Which when Lisa and I went to see it, you yelled at us, you berated us for a bit, and then said, "Oh, and I'm sure everyone comes back in the end, right?"
They did. The end of. Yeah,
and I said no, they didn't. They didn't
one.
at the end of that movie.
It was the next. Fuck you. It was the next one.
Well, you didn't say that. You said in that particular film.
Yeah, it ended. It ended a little more bleakly. Good.
Had some
finally.
stakes, yeah.
All right. No, I mean the stakes you knew there were no stakes, but at least it ended more bleakly. I'll get, that's fine. So yeah, those two.
In Empire Strikes Back, like no one really majorly dies, right? Like it's
because Star Wars is not good. Yeah.
Oh, for Christ's sake! So I forgot you like Star Wars.
Yeah, because I like my movies to like tell stories on their own and not be part of an overarching thing.
They can't all be movies about people, screwing fish, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Well, that's the downside. I mean, I'm sure there's even more.
I want your mom to call in. I want to know. Are there days? Nate's mom, listen, if you're listening to me, just ignore Nate for a second. If you're listening to us right now, I'd like you to call in to our hotline, and I really would love to know. Do you sometimes wish, like, I know Nate makes you watch all these terrible movies.
3, 4, 6, 2, 4.
Do you ever just wonder, like, God, can we just watch like one Marvel film or one like mainstream thing that like other people know about? Like
we used to go see what is your Hunger Games. Hunger Games was every Thanksgiving. The Hunger Games ended. That was it.
I don't know what
it's over.
That's your poor mom. Like, do you wonder, like, she must have friends that are like, oh, what did you do this weekend? It's like she can't be like. She has to say, I saw a movie. I went to see a movie with my son. She can't tell him any other details because, one, they wouldn't know what the movie is. And two, what is she going to tell? Oh, yeah, I saw a movie about a lady having sex.
Piranha 3. I saw Piranha 3D. What's the big deal? Yeah, sounds great.
I saw Titan where a woman gave birth to a car baby.
We did not watch that one.
Well, guess what, Nate's mom? That's on the holiday watch list, I'm sure.
Well, you and I went to see it on my birthday. So
we did. Yeah, I think
you drive like even farther away to a theater than usual. It was like a
happy birthday.
It was a deeper drive.
Once again, happy birthday, Nate.
Yeah.
Anyway, Nate's mom, let me know. I'd love to know. What do you feel about Marvel movies? Do you want Nate to start watching those more with you? I would.
If someone give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, any of your podcast platforms, I will do a Marvel movie because I'm contractually obligated.
Do Werewolf by Night so we can finally get a Nate rant episode.
God.
Y'all have heard me rant about Hansel and Gretel. Why don't you give us that 5-star review?
This movie's about 50 minutes, and I'll talk about it for about 50 seconds. That's all it deserves. So
no, you won't. You'll give it a lot longer.
Oh God. Anyway. Yeah. Request that, and we'll get to it. It'll be like, I don't know.
Ooh, if you give us
what's like the longest I can possibly go between a request and doing the movie?
Here's what y'all listeners. Here's what you do. You need to get you and a friend both put in 5-star reviews. One of you just needs to do a 5-star review for Werewolf by Night. The other one for Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. We will double feature that.
God.
That's still somehow
awful.
4 hours worth of footage. Most of it
Sounds
is
awful.
Doctor Strange. And let's just really just ruin Nate's night. That would
Hey,
be...
we at Fantastic Fest, one of the contestants for the Fantastic Feud, the movie industry, ridiculous Family Feud spinoff, was the guy who wrote Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness.
Oh.
And he was on the winning team. So there you go.
There you go. All right. Well, look, you can let us know how strongly you disagree.
And then like Sylvester Stallone and Over the Top. Then someone, when that happens, like that, like triggers, like it's like shooting off a nuclear missile, and the other ones come off. This is when Human Centipede needs to, like, as a retaliatory review, needs to start happening.
Well, listen, let us know how strongly you disagree with Nate about his thoughts on Werewolf by Night, as do over 1,000 people in the audience score and almost 100 people on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, I'm sure Katy Perry has like more downloads than Led Zeppelin. Sure. I mean, I'm sure that is the case. But I mean, come on, what are we talking about here?
I mean, I don't know why you have to denigrate Katy Perry. I mean, what'd she do to you, man? You get mean when you get when you get like this. All right, well, listen, Werewolf by Night, 91%. The movie we're reviewing this week, 68%. So that is going to be another point of discussion as we talk about this week's movie of the week, Hellraiser.
What's your deal? It has 6 sides, 6 configurations. It opens up and it cuts you. And then they come to collect.
It's time. Greater delights await. We wish to see you proceed. Feed it. Their blood, their pain. All for us. What is it you pray for?
Oh, an actual movie. Love it.
Hellraiser.
Love it, Mitch.
Hulu Raiser. I don't know. I kind of just should have had a tie-in. Okay. Well, I'll Nate, I need you to calm down. So why don't you breathe in, breathe out. I'll while you're doing that, I will.
Okay, Gavin Rosdale.
I will.
What's happening here?
I will. I'll give you the elevator pitch. Hey, remember how like cool Hellraiser was? Well, let's just lose the bullshit Matrix gear and redo it.
Well, how about 80s leather culture, and then just update it with, I don't even know what is the motif that the director told us.
Skin leather.
Skin leather. That's right.
What if their clothes are just their skin pulled real fucking tight?
Yeah, I don't know which one's more bullshit. Now that you say it that way, I'm not 100% sure. But yes,
yeah. So Hellraiser, Nate, what can you tell us about the 2022 classic? We'll find out. The best secret screening at Fantastic Fest this year. Werewolf by Night, we've already established.
2022's Hellraiser. World premiere September 28th at Fantastic Fest and released on Hulu a little over a week later. This last was it Friday? Yeah, last Friday. It's a comically low 6.2 on IMDb somehow. And it's 2 hours and 1 minute. Didn't feel that long when watching it, but it was good. the director is just at this point, the director is just my boy. It's David Bruckner, who you might remember from incredible previous episode, The Night House. Was that the first movie we saw back in the theaters in 2020?
It might have been. It was one of
the first, or is the first or the second? Oh, and it was just incredible. God, give me The Night House like 100 times out of 100 over his Werewolf by Night nonsense. And obviously Hellraiser previously did The Ritual, which is, I believe, a Netflix movie, which is good. He did Amateur Night, like the best segment on the original VHS. And very recent news, VHS 85 announced. That's right, Mitch. Your boy Scott Derrickson from just getting out of the Strange verse or whatever that is, doing VHS 85 with David Bruckner, and a few others. And your Gigi Guerrero will be there as well in another anthology series. Fantastic. What do you think about that?
I'm good with it.
Okay, you're good. I'm good with it. All right, that's it.
I don't know. What was guys, what were you looking for?
We solved it. Well, that's great. One of the writers of the film, Ben Collins, who was at the festival, and they were a great part of the Q&A, wrote The Night House, wrote Hellraiser, and has got some short films under his belt, but it has 2 interesting movies in the pipeline, Mitch. Let's see if you can answer with more. You can respond with more than like 2 words. The plot is under wraps currently, but there is a movie called The Sisters of Samhain, or Samhain, as people could pronounce it. A horror movie about the Sisters of Samhain. Now, I thought, is this a Halloween 3 sequel? Because that would be incredible.
I'd be much more in on it if that was the case.
If it was like a spiritual Halloween 3 sequel, would that be incredible? From the people who just gave us Hellraiser, writing wise. I got pretty excited about that.
I'm tempted for sure.
Yes. Okay. Well, pretty pleased about that. The other movie that they're working on, 20 years after her family was publicly destroyed by her teenage sister's mysterious affliction, a young woman tells the story in her own words, revealing a far more terrifying version of what really happened in her childhood home. It's called A Head Full of Ghosts.
Okay.
And don't worry. The sister, when this happens to her, is 8 years old, and her sister is older, a little bit older, but definitely a massive children in peril movie.
Oh, this is the new Scarlet Witch movie. Yeah, I'm all in on it.
Oh, I don't know what that means.
It's Marvel. It's the next Marvel film. It's the new Scarlet Witch.
No, it's not. Okay.
I can
Please
feel
tell
your.
me that's not
I
right.
Can feel
Anything
your.
could be Marvel.
I can feel your blood pressure just rise.
Let me just say this. Marvel is probably the scariest.
Guys, we might not even get to the movie review. We might literally talk about Marvel. This might turn into a Werewolf by Night review.
I might jump out of the window that's right next to it. I might just jump out. Just see this. That might be preferable for this.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's that. The main actress in this is Odessa Azion. She's been in some stuff. She was in a TV series called Ghosts, apparently, on CBS. So I think it's less horror than comedy, but hey, it's ghost-esque.
That one's actually not too bad. The BBC version's better, but it's actually pretty funny.
Okay, nice. I've seen the British Ghosts, now that I think about it.
Yeah, same basic show.
She's also in a movie called For the Night, which Mitch likes because it's got 3 words and it's night at the end. So it comes at night. It comes at night is 4 words. God damn it. Can't even count. Werewolf by Night. This one. A trio of teenage skateboarders looking to film in a new location stumble upon a dark and mysterious discovery. Do you believe this actress as a skateboarder? I would say 1000% yes.
Sure. I mean,
She could be a drug addict skateboarder, no problem.
yeah, through Christ, all things are possible, Nate, I guess. So
Yep.
sure.
What else is possible is, hey, let's take Hell Priest, and switch it up. Jamie Clayton as Pinhead in this one, really good. So yeah, she's been in tons of stuff, including Mitch's favorite TV show, Roswell, New Mexico. So,
never seen a single episode of that, but that's fine.
I
don't even know enough to even say one thing or the other. So
she was also in Mitch's favorite movie.
Was Jennifer Love Hewitt in it? Because I will start watching it if you're telling me that.
I'd have to look it up. I'm gonna guess no, but apparently, as you said, all things are possible. She was in The Snowman, that terrible thriller movie with Michael Fassbender and Rebecca Ferguson. That was very bad. She was in Neon Demon, which is a horror film. Mitch, have you seen Neon Demon before?
No.
Oh goodness. Okay, well, there's that. I'm just really getting really disappointed today. I don't know what's happening here, Mitch. What's going on? Not seeing Neon Demon. I mean,
I know. I'm sorry.
I'm
sorry. I'm sorry for letting you down so much.
Apology not accepted.
Okay.
So no. The other actors in this movie, I don't really care, except for Goran Visnich. You might remember him from The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. He's Voight in this film. It's pretty great when your last two credits are Hellraiser and This Is Us. That's a 1-2 punch from your most recent filmography. I thought that was hilarious, Mitch. What do you think?
I don't even know what's going on right now. What is
he had an arc on the Santa Clarita Diet? Are you getting more interested or less interested?
Roughly the same. I mean,
he was on 165 episodes of
Okay, just move along. I don't know what to tell you here.
For others, ER. Yeah. Okay. Fine. I'm gonna mercifully not quite end this yet. So this film is going straight to streaming in Hulu. I guess the only way you really can see it is in theaters, which that ship is basically sailed because the movie's already out. There's no tagline on this one, Mitch, which I thought was pretty ridiculous. Other than it's the classic from the master of horror, Clive Barker, right? That's what all the movies used to do that back in the day.
Sure.
So it was a throwback for that, but that's kind of a cop out. Personally. Yeah, I guess that's it. I have a bunch of other things to talk about, but let's actually get into the movie. In the spoiler-free edition, overall thoughts on this one, Mitch?
Overall thoughts. I mean, it looks really good. I think the Cenobites are, look, when you go to Hellraiser, you're really going in to see a lot of brutal kills. You're expecting a good bit of gore, and you're expecting really creepy Cenobites. Cenobites are really creepy. The gore, the deaths aren't. So there's some gory stuff in terms of the actual creature design and some of that, but the actual kills are relatively tame, I thought, compared to other earlier entries in the whole franchise, right?
It's more building. It's building it up, rather than just straight up.
But the body horror stuff is still pretty good. And I mean, we'll talk about in the spoiler part at the end, but one particular person's change is pretty people in the theater were good Lord, right? So it was effective. I really liked what they did differently about the actual the puzzle box and all the different configurations. I thought that was a really interesting twist on everything.
So you're a big escape room person.
Well, I am. Yeah.
Is this puzzle something that you'd be interested in?
Yeah, I'd get suckered into this easy.
Okay, so you would be getting murdered.
I'd be getting straight shanked up. Yeah, I can't avoid it. I know myself enough to know I yeah. But what I think is I will say, I think where it really did well was we talked about it in number 2, the so much of it follows like the same people and then the stories just get kind of really ridiculous. And we talked about how they needed to be more anthology based, where our idea was like the anthology based, like, okay, Pennywise, it's different. It's people in different scenarios finding the box, and then more shorter stories, and then Pinhead sort of kind of in the background, or the Hell Priest, excuse me, are kind of in the background, right? And kind of weave through. This at least starts on that path. I think the overall story's fine. I'm excited for where they could potentially go with this, assuming they don't just follow the same lead. As good as she was in this, I'd say I'd like to see a different story, a different thing, right? I don't want to see them all necessarily connected one to the next if they're going to do sequels. But yeah,
I agree.
Yeah. So yeah, what about you? What were not quite as high as Werewolf by Night, I'm guessing, but where would you?
Yeah, it's not as high because it's like above the ground. That one's like where it's like Gone in the Upside Down, as above so below. Like that's where my estimation of that one is. Yeah, I agree. I think if it's a setup where every time it's someone different and they're not trying to follow actual through lines or anything like that, that movie is much more, that movie reboot type of series is much more interesting to me. Yeah, I 100% agree on that one. Think about it this way. Hulu redid Predator and Hellraiser this year. We haven't got to final cut or spoilers or anything like that, but my overall impression of Hellraiser, I would say, is good. Go back and listen to our review about Prey. Also, go watch Prey on Hulu. Highly recommend the Comanche dub if you're going to go do that. 2 good movies, Mitch. Hulu on a roll. Got Fresh this year too. This is the 3rd Hulu original movie that we are reviewing. And there's a couple others that might make the cut for the end of the year. Pretty good year for Hulu. Rebooting beloved franchises, beloved horror-ish franchises. Not bad. So I'm just getting a little. You can't see my hat moving because I am wearing a hat, but I'm tipping it. Not bad from Hulu. I gotta say. What is Netflix been giving us this year, horror-wise? Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah.
Yeah. Geez. Can't even get a Werewolf by Night type level movie at this point. Not a whole lot coming out on Netflix horror wise this year. That was good. So yeah, in terms of streamers, I would say Hulu's pretty much the place to be at this point.
Yeah, I'd agree.
I did watch My Best Friend's Exorcism on Amazon Prime.
I have not watched that
yet. And it was okay.
Okay. I've not heard great things. But
heard better things than Jeepers Creepers Reborn future episode.
Oh, there you go.
Anyway, but yeah, no, so spoiler free section. So yeah, there's no leather. It's skin leather. It looks creepy. I think the overall design of the Cenobites was really good. Mitch, I just gotta tell you, look, the Hellraiser 2 episode, I complained about the Cenobites literally being unable to move. They moved in this one, Mitch. Mm-hmm. So we're already starting up pretty high. They moved. Were they moving fast? No, but they were at least using their legs to traverse a distance. So I got to give it credit for that. They were so slow. Now that I'm thinking about it, they were quite slow, but it's more dreadful if you move towards someone slowly and it's inevitable. So I'm going to give them credit for that one. The Cenobites overall look, what did you think, Mitch? Compared to the previous ones that we've seen?
Yeah, I already mentioned I really liked them.
But it's like, is it definitively better than the previous look?
It's cleaned up. I don't. Some of it, yeah. Chatter. Like, let's talk about. The original.
In the Q&A, they were like, Chatterer is in. Like,
yeah,
that's a lock. Chatterer is not going anywhere. We're bringing that.
I think the problem with the older ones, just I guess just the techniques at the time. They're very waxy kind of looking and very they don't look as fluid, right? They're in these. You can pretty much tell they're in pretty much really thick suits that are going to be hard to move around in and all that, right? So every time you see them, they're not really moving a lot, which is fine for how the characters are written.
Skin suits better for mobility, is what you're saying.
Yeah, and I agree with taking off like the latex and that the BDSM type of stuff. I know they're trying to get away from that because it's not quite as shocking
trendy
as it was back in the day. Trendy, right? But I liked them. I liked one of the cool things I thought they did was they put like these like LED diodes on all like the pins and all the all the stuff all over on a lot of them. Definitely had really creepy body modification feel to it more so than the other ones. I liked it. I thought it was a good touch. I think it's one of those things too where it's definitely its own thing. It's not conflicting so much with the original where you can't appreciate one or the other. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's its own thing enough that it's not like you're just upset because it's not the other thing, the one you had previously, or vice versa. It's its own thing, and so you can enjoy it just on its own merits.
Agreed. Going back to the movement, Mitch, so like if you had to put like a mile per hour on these Cenobites, what are we talking about? Right? Because they have that. I'm looking at it right now, but there's like, that classic like infographic showing like animals and different, like speeds that they can run at, like top speed. Sure. Where do you think the Cenobite falls?
It can't be very high. I don't know, but that one,
a cheetah goes up to 70. A cheetah goes up to 70. A human can go up to 28. Are we talking lower than that? Do I need to go lower?
I would say lower. That's
a freshwater crocodile can go 10 miles per hour. They're a Cenobite get going.
I don't know. They ain't working out. You know what I mean? Like, I gotta assume there's some muscle atrophy there from all their
because the chains are doing a lot of the work.
Yeah, they don't have to run, so they're not like training for it, right? Like, they're not over here doing wind sprints until someone solves the puzzle, right? Like when
there's like absolutely nothing on TV, and there's like, all right, who's the fastest sprinter who needs money in between Olympics? Like, let's have them race a tiger, right? Like that happens like every like couple years on TV. I feel like
sure.
So like the Cenobite, like as I'm saying, like what? Okay, so is 10 miles an hour too fast? That's top speed, by the way. So like an average one would be running slower.
What'd you say an average human is?
20. No, well, the top speed is 28 miles per hour. Like Jesus that'd be Christ. Like Usain Bolt.
Then maybe let's go 10 miles per hour. That seems appropriate.
Okay. The average human running speed, like average person, is like 8.
Okay. That one thing
not
was
like
chasing,
speed, not top speed.
That one thing went off crazy. We can't, without getting too spoilery. There's one Cenobite that was booking it. So, there's variable. I think. Like, what if your hedonistic pleasure is just to run all over the place? It seems bizarre, but granted, a lot of the things that people
is that one of the configurations. Just like it's like it just turns into a shoe.
It's leather, so yeah, sure. It's in the realm of possibilities.
All right, that's incredible. Okay, I hope it has some good arch support. But other than that, yeah, it should be great. Okay, that's all right. We solved it. So the premise of this one, there's a new Pandora's box, right? Sure. It's a little different setup in this one. And if you watch the trailer, which the trailer was incredible. I don't watch trailers often, as if you listen to the podcast, but you sent it to me, Mitch, and I was like, all right, if you sent it to me, and I don't usually like try to watch trailers just because I like going in cold. The trailer was incredible. The Pandora's box puzzle is a little different this time. Every time you do a configuration, it doesn't go to the next phase without a giant, sharp spike needing to get blood. What do you think about that change? That's not really ruining anything. It's the way they use it, really. That's more interesting. But they the other one was like the cube, right? They had to do a bunch of stuff with. What do you think about that? Did you like that better as well? Because it's a huge part of the movie. I mean,
what do you mean? What part do I like better?
The new configuration of the the box to get from one configuration to the other.
Yeah, I mean,
by summoning the Cenobites.
I like that.
Because it's the MacGuffin of the movie, right? Kind of, like what you got to do.
Well, I like that. I like that they sort of stood for different things. I mean, it would have been I would have liked a little bit more tie-in to what they are supposed to represent. But I mean, for the first outing, yeah, no, I appreciate that it. I mean, look, the original ones, they talk about it being a puzzle box, and it's like they just like are spinning some stuff around, and it just kind of magically turns into something.
Yeah, it's like Room, the iPad game.
Right. This one at least feels like a puzzle that they're unlocking, and something's happening and changing. So I appreciate that. I like that a lot more. So yeah, that was a really good change for me.
God, that should have been the subtitle for Werewolf at Night. Werewolf at Night: the Lament configuration.
You've been holding on to that one, haven't you?
No, I haven't, but I just thought of it. It totally fits. What else do you want to say about this movie? I mean, obviously we'll get to spoilers right after this, but what else do you want to say? So, unsuspecting victim friendly, kill wise, like you said, not as much explicit kills, but overall imagery and vibe is I don't think very unsuspecting victim friendly. Does that seem fair?
I don't know. I don't think this one's that bad in retrospect.
You don't think so?
No, I really don't. I mean, like I said, the kill. I think the body horror parts. I mean, it's certainly more like there's certainly more body horror elements to it. But in terms of like, if you're squeamish around like kills and you're worried about like people dying gruesome deaths, like I mean, I'm just thinking like other Hellraisers where you're seeing the people's skin literally being pulled away slowly from their, and all that kind of stuff. You don't really get to that level. It's a little tamer there. Where you do see it is just in the actual Cenobites is where it really gets. So I think it's probably fine, particularly story wise. I don't think this movie's. I'll say there's one negative to this movie is it's not overly scary.
Okay.
I'll put it to you this way. If you watch 13 Ghosts and that didn't bother you, you're probably fine. This is
the original or the Shannon Elizabeth one?
The Shannon Elizabeth one.
Okay.
I mean, I guess technically both, but I'm more referring to the Shannon Elizabeth one. So anyway, yes,
I had to specify that. For some reason. I had to specify that. Okay. All right. Well, I don't know what's happening. Cool. Okay. So I guess overall, your recommendation on this movie, watch, don't watch.
I would say watch. I watch. I don't think it's the best Halloween movie you're going to see this season, but
damn.
I would say watch it. It was good. You don't have to pay. I mean, outside of a Hulu subscription, you don't have to pay for it.
Okay. I say definitely watch it. Hulu. If you don't have Hulu, just get a free trial.
And look, this movie,
it's a good one. Watch Prey while you're there, and watch Fresh while you're there too. Just go 3 for 1 right around Halloween, and then that's it.
Yeah, and and for sure, I mean, you're not gonna have to. What can I tell you? You're not. You can. This movie's short. roughly. I mean, you can squeeze in Werewolf by Night and then Hellraiser, kind of back to back. Just hop over. I mean, I think Disney Plus and Hulu are bundled, so if you don't have those, get the bundle, watch them both, and then you're really in for a treat. A lot of monsters overall.
Yeah, there's one trick and there's one treat. Yeah, I agree.
So dumb. All right. Well, look, listen, if you've been hanging out this long with us, thank you. But
yeah, are they still listening? I don't even know if they're still listening.
Probably not.
Who knows?
But if you don't want to get spoiled,
Get out of here, witch!
because it's spoiling time. Look, we've talked about all the other.
was that a Morbin time reference?
Anytime I can drop in some Marvel shit on you, that's good. Oh man, if Morbius had been,
I didn't even realize that was my. God damn it! Oh god. Well, they sound like equally good.
All is Marvel. I mean, technically, Disney owns the company that created this Hellraiser. So technically, Pinhead is now a Disney princess.
Well, Disney Prince. Yeah, damn.
Yeah.
All right. Flawless logic there. I can't do anything about it.
I mean, her and the scene sorry, not the scene, but the xenomorph queen is a princess as well. Although she's technically a queen, you should put respect on the title.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what the difference between that is. So,
but the queen, the xenomorph queen. What are you talking about?
I don't even know what's happening.
Don't worry about it. Just let it wash over you. The important thing is we've talked about all this. We've talked about everything else with this movie. I mean, let's just talk about the story. That's really the only spoilery part. So the story is really about addiction and how it how it can impact other people around you. In a mildly victim blaming sort of, or addiction blaming sort of way, addict blaming sort of way, but not so egregious.
Yeah, addiction is not good. That's the through line of this movie. Addiction's not good. Well, so basically these are the last two movies from David Bruckner. Suicide's not good. Addiction's not good. Those are the two takeaways from his last two films. So there you go. Mitch, counterpoint. What do you got?
I mean, what are we addicted to here, right? I don't know.
I'm addicted to skin leather. Please, if you're gonna give us a 5-star review or call.
Well, then we have such
346-246-3143
sites to show you.
I don't want to see that. I have those blocked on Google, so I have no sites. Sites. Oh God, man. That's the next one. There. Oh my God. If you did an unfriended Hellraiser crossover movie with the dark web, that would be incredible. That's where the Cenobites would live if they got on the internet. They'd be on the dark web, wouldn't they?
I mean, at this point, they'd probably just be on the regular web. I don't think there's.
That's.
don't really think they have to hide that much. It's
they're just running. They're just running a subreddit.
Yeah, right. They're on. They're on 4chan. The story is fine. It's not the most groundbreaking story. I mean, frankly, the Mirror House or whatever the hell the first one was a much better story, and I think he even said in the Q&A that was really effectively a Hellraiser reboot. But when they kind of pitched it and they didn't really get going with Hellraiser, they just kind of rewrote it to basically not have Cenobites, but it was very similar in themes. And frankly, it was a really good story. This one's okay. Again, I think the acting overall is good, and I just, I rewatched it, and on my second viewing, I didn't care for it as much as I did when I first saw it in the theater. And part of it was, I think, just it's the secret screening. We're in a movie theater. We're the first people to see this. There was a lot more. I mean, I think that some of that, just the environment was different. And I think seeing it in theaters is a little different too than maybe watching it just at home, right? But this movie felt, especially toward the end, it really felt like it turned into 13 Ghosts. it almost turned into a 13 Ghosts remake more than it did a Hellraiser remake. And I don't know how I feel about that.
Well, if you just told me that, it sounds bad. That's if you just.
I mean, even the house is like it just has the same like sliding door contraption things, and you know,
oh my god, if Matthew Lillard was in this,
right? If they were all wearing glass, I mean, yeah.
If Matthew Lillard was the billionaire guy,
that'd be tight.
Ooh, that would actually have been quite good. Okay.
I mean, maybe we have a crossover there. I don't know who owns these franchises and rights anymore. But even like, I mean, because even the monsters kind of similar. You know, it's really funny because I think maybe this is like with most things, right? There's so much uproar about. I think there's a lot of controversy and really stupid controversy, I should say, about the recasting of Pinhead, which is real dumb. That we're all getting really bent out of shape about who plays a person with nails bolted in their head.
I don't know. Wait, was someone complaining about that?
Oh,
she was great.
Oh, people were not thrilled that Pinhead was a woman anymore, which is well. I mean, yeah, it's all ridiculous, right? I mean, again, this is of all the things in everyone's lives, this is the thing we want to, and it's much ado about a story that really isn't a whole lot there to it, right? I mean.
Yeah, during the Q&A, they were talking about how the original story, is a very androgynous person. I don't think it really, in terms of source materialness, look, obviously, like the original Hellraiser, is beloved. Doug Bradley is quite good as Pinhead, I would say generally. But I mean, you can't have the same guy, this like far in the future. So. That guy's it's like getting like Robert Englund to be like Freddy Krueger again. Like if you got another Freddy Krueger, you could pretty much go any direction at that point. Right?
Well, maybe don't go the direction they went, but
well, that's true. Yeah, that's true. The movie was terrible.
You can go any direction, but there are some bad ones. So no, I thought Debbie Clayton was really, really great in this. It's a different Hell Priest. But it's still good. It's still really good. It's still, it's still a unique character. I think the positives about this film are really that it does a really good job paying homage and separating itself enough that it's, to me, it really does feel like its own movie. It's certainly one of the better of the Hellraisers. But like I said, the story's just, I don't know. I'm trying to even think, even from a spoiler perspective, right? I mean, it's nothing that we haven't seen in any of the other ones. It's rich dude has been finding people to basically open up all the configurations so that he can, talk to God and get his heart's desire, which of course is not going to work out. And he becomes a wind up toy.
And how's that?
That wind up toy, prosthetic in his back where it's like pulling his,
it literally was a thing that just at random intervals would just pull on his nerves.
Yeah.
And it was a huge contraption.
That was probably the most like pain. One of the pain. The rich dude that had the most painful looking shit like on him, and it was rough.
Well, his final scene where he got Cenobited was.
Oh yeah, and you see his like lips getting like pulled off and all that. Oh, the
thing about when groin skin gets pulled up, I don't care for that. I don't care for that at all. Is that a bold stance? Yeah, I was like, ooh.
Yeah, everyone in the theater
for this
was hurting, and this is at a film festival where previously, like 2 nights before, they had a whole super cut of the 100 worst like,
dick destructions on film.
Yeah, so
and we sat next to the person who curated that, and even they were just like, oh, I don't know about this. It's like, yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah, so that maybe part is not unsuspected.
But they saved it to the end. Yeah, it escalated, right? So as the movie goes on, it gets a little bit more, it gets a little bit more explicit and just skin tearing and all that stuff that you cut, hooks into things that you come to expect.
I guess my question is, I mean, did you really at any point did you ultimate and again, this ties into my just general beef with the Hellraiser franchise in general. did you really care about any of these people, or were you just kind of like watching it going, get to whoever's going to get shanked by the thing next? And let's move on. Like, one person didn't even solve the box. They just stabbed her in the back, and she's like, oh, well, now I'm getting killed by the rules for solving the puzzles don't make any sense. Like,
what's in the box?
Like,
Sorry.
I solved it, but I just didn't, I didn't touch the sharp part. So I guess I'm okay. Seems like I get the blood thing, but I don't know. Then they're just like stab. I mean, you just like shoved. What if I literally just had like when the box is in, I think the lament configuration where it's, or maybe it's the Leviathan. It's just like the big like diamond looking one. I just shanked. I didn't even solve it. I just shanked someone in the back. Are they just immediately like that just calls them, or do you have to truly solve it first? Very, it's kind of weird.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then they were able to sacrifice a Cenobite to it, and they're like, okay, that works too. Like, it got real weird. I didn't mind it. It was just a little bizarre for my taste. I just didn't care about anyone except for maybe the lead. But I don't really think this movie was trying to have this message of, how addiction hurts everyone around, how it hurts those around you as well as you, but I don't know. Maybe if she was, it would have been more profound if she was actually fully still in the throes of her addiction versus being recovering and all that. I don't know. It just didn't land as well. I get what they were trying to do. It just didn't land as well, at least on the second viewing anyway.
Yeah, I agree. It was all just a setup, obviously, and addiction was like the through lines we talked about. But yeah, was it? The story wasn't. It wasn't bad.
No. It was not bad. It was a fine enough story. And I think if you're not familiar with any of the Hellraisers, this is probably a good intro into it. I think this is one of those films at the end of the day where if you loved Hellraiser and the originals, you're probably not thrilled with this movie. Admittedly, it's probably you're probably kind of like, yeah, everyone looked cool, but this movie's whatever. It's not going to have all that stuff, right?
but this movie's whatever.
Yeah. Well, Nate, not everyone has the practice of expressing their opinion as eloquently as you and I do, as I stammer through my point. No, I just mean I do think fans of like big fans of the franchise probably won't like this one. I think this is a good intro into Hellraiser. Like if I had watched this first, I'd probably be a lot more interested in going back and rewatching the older ones. And then probably being disappointed because again, this is certainly, I think, up there with 1 and 2 in terms of quality. But I just, again, part of my thinking of like it would have been better had this been like an anthology and 6 different people had changed the configuration. And then the final thing was someone had to. Wouldn't this have been better, Nate, if the movie had been, instead of just like 6 random people that, or not 6 random, but 6 people that just happen to know this person, they're changing the configuration. They somehow get, shanked and get, taken into Cenobite world.
Shanked and ganked.
Yep. Wouldn't it have been better had it been different people and they had different levels of addiction or vices? I mean, you almost could have done a 7 deadly sins at this point.
Oh, interesting.
And the final one was someone who was like, I've been researching this. I've been looking for this everywhere. And I finally have, like, you could have still had the through line of the rich tycoon guy, like setting people up for it and being sort of that villain. Cause he was doing that. And that was an interesting, that was effectively the through line. Like, hey, I found this person, and I think it would have been better had each configuration been a little bit more of an anthology type of thing.
Tie back to the main theme, generally.
And then the final one being him getting the I just think that would have been a more compelling story for me. And that's just again because otherwise these other people don't matter. Like her brother trying to, okay, they're friends, they're roommates that they live with. Sure, you're all fodder. So like your characters exist really to just have someone to for, you know, the Hell Priest to just gank.
Yeah. That would have been, I would like that. Well, hey, it could be the second one.
Yeah, agreed. I think what this at least shows us is there's a lot of promise in what they could go with next, where they could go with this. And that's my point. I don't want to see this main. She did a great job. I just don't want to see her character again. Let's like move. It should go to someone else should find this, and now it kind of picks up, or you know.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that could actually be pretty solid. I like that. Okay, damn, that's a good one. All right, you should have got with those writers and started.
I should have. A lot of people were there, and then you know, and then you and I were doing shots, which doesn't help anything.
We were doing shots. It was either that. No, but this was the bet for us doing shots, guys. It was either Hellraiser. And I get to pick the shot, or it was Hocus Pocus 2, and Mitch got to pick the shot because it was all Disney-owned properties that were the main screenings. Someone
thought that it was going to be the new Barbie movie, and I got really excited about that, more so than I thought I would be. And
I don't know why, but yes,
because it looks incredible. The idea of it is on its face is really ridiculous, but I'm excited about it. Nate, anything else to talk about? I mean, from a spoiler, there's really not a lot to spoil in this one. It's a pretty paint by numbers horror film.
It is, but I think it opens up a lot of opportunities. Oh, pun intended, I guess. It opens up a lot of opportunities for new stuff, and this is a franchise that there's a lot of franchises that could use this level of thought and care and budget, to be honest. For like a reboot, right? To come back in, like the Prey, Prey 2 is already coming out, right? Like that's a lock for sure. I can't imagine another Hellraiser won't come out either. Just based on how much money they put into it and how good I thought it was. Apparently not, but apparently Werewolf by Night 2 already greenlit or something. But I think this is just an example of. It's I think some people won't like it. I don't think it's as good as the first one. I think it's probably not quite as good as the first one, but it's pretty close, or maybe the same. It's probably tied for me, to be honest. But I'm not a huge Hellraiser person. That's not bad for a remake. If your remake is like close to as good as the first or second best movie in a franchise, with how many movies was that? 8, 9 movies that we looked at last time. That's not bad. So I take it. If it would do something a little different, lean on the addiction angle more, tie it into a little bit more of like a central theme, like the story being more than just getting ganked by cool looking Cenobites. That would really take it to another level for sure. To the next level. Proceed. To the next level. But yeah, it was good. It's good. Not as good as Prey though. If I had to pick one. Predator, red dots on my head. I would go Prey over this one personally, but
I'd rank them that way as well.
Is Prey like my favorite movie of the year? Practically, who knows? I mean, it could be. End of the year rankings will be very interesting for this. But
I mean, it sounds like it is. Let me ask you one last question, then we'll get to Final Cut. The end of this, he has to pick which one he wants, right? I mean, there's 6 configurations. To remind you, let's see, they are lament for life, lore, knowledge, there's laudrent, love, liminal is sensation, Lazarus is resurrection, and Leviathan is power. Which one are you going with? You're talking to God. Which I'm
gonna go with the one where I don't get murdered, so I'm gonna go lament. I don't want any of that. I don't want any of that. I don't want.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't want.
What happens when you do lore? Does your head just turn into a book that just constantly opens and closes? Or
well, there was. If you saw the other Clive Barker Hulu movie, from 2020, Books of Blood, that's literally That's it's a person's face's books is the poster.
Tight.
Well, the poster is better than the movie. So if you but anyway,
that doesn't shock me, but
yep. But no, it's a I mean, all of them sound terrible. Oh, so someone's going to come back, but they're going to be like a terrible shell of themselves. That sounds awful. I don't like any of that. So I don't even mess with any of that. So that's yeah. I'm a wuss. I'd be terrible at these movies. I'd be like, it'd be Jordan Peele's short film Nope. Something would happen. I'd be like, I hate this. I'm out. Nope. And then fade to black. So which one would you pick? That's the question.
I mean, look, if you've already gone this far down the rabbit hole, like, I don't really know what power really got him at the end of the day, besides just being like affixed to the pyramid. Man, I don't know. Sensations sound terrible. Yeah,
I mean, sounds like the absolute worst one, maybe.
Got to be one of the first three, either lament, lore, or love. I would go maybe lore. Honestly,
I don't know what that is.
Like I said, I mean, yeah. If you come
look up that book face.
Look
at that book face thing.
Is it really called book face?
No.
Okay. Don't Google book face, everyone. I just don't be me and book.
Mark Zuckerberg is gonna like sue you if you do that.
Right.
So it's copyright.
All right. Well, look, Nate. All that's left to do now. I need to know what's your final cut.
Final cut.
Take us home, Nate.
I'll take you home to the Paradise City where the skin is leathery and the chains are pretty. Let's go with it did drop in my estimation a little bit, I will say, after watching it again. Still good. I didn't think this went down maybe 1 point, just in the cold sober eye of watching it on a television and not in a movie theater where it's really easy to get pumped up. I will say this. I understand why people give better reviews to things when they go to festivals, because it's just it's like a cool atmosphere. Mitch is watching movies and then getting pictures with Chris Jericho. I mean, come on, like what? He's not going to be more excited about that. So I dropped at 1 point down to a 6 out of 10 configurations because there are 6. So there you go. It's good. It's better than Werewolf by Night. And well, it's not hard, but it's good. It was the best secret screening. But in general, I'm pretty pumped about, like, this is the most excited I've been about Hellraiser probably ever. It's not saying a whole lot. It's not saying a whole lot for me, but if I was, I don't know. I think it's a good start. The Pinhead is good. It's obviously a different take, but I thought it was sufficiently creepy for sure. And like we said, it opened up a lot of opportunities to go different places. Hopefully it goes anthology. Hopefully they're in different places or maybe even different times, whatever, right? They've been around for a long time. You could just Assassin's Creed this up all over the place if you'd like. There's a lot of opportunities to do some of this stuff that I think could be really cool. And hopefully they get the budget to do that. So yeah. 6 out of 10.
Nice.
What about you, Mitch?
I am leaning the same. I was pretty much at 6 out of 10 when we started.
The last 2 movies we have been at a 6, both of us, Smile and Hellraiser.
Well, and I think that considering where we have these 2 movies kind of in our list, again, I think when I had Hellraiser higher in my list post Fantastic Fest, but like I said, I watched it again, and I think maybe I was a little biased just to seeing it in the theater. Well,
that's how you saw it. I mean, you can't get rid of bias. We both think Starship Troopers is a 10 out of 10 movie. Why is that? It's not because of rational thought, Mitch.
That's fair. I'm still gonna go
lean into it. Let's lean into it. Yeah,
I'm still gonna lead 6 out of 6. 6 out of 6.
6 out of 6, 100%.
Oh, 6 out of 10. Jesus. Chatterers. Yeah. I mean, again, I there's a lot to like about this. I'm excited for. I want to see a sequel. I'll put it that way. I would like for them to make a sequel of this movie. I'm just hoping for, again, I don't want to follow the same people. I want to see some different folk.
Okay.
All right. Well, Nate, where can they find us?
You can find us, as always, with your Werewolf by Night / Doctor Strange / whatever garbage Marvel movie reviews you would like to, I guess, torture me with. That's you're my Cenobite at that point. Give us a call, 346-246-3143. Let us know. Werewolf by Night versus Hellraiser. They're both, you can stream them both. Which one do you like better? Give us that 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, TuneIn Radio, Podcast Addict, all of them. And apparently get a friend to do it and do multiple. That's Mitch is actively wanting people to collude against him. So there's that. So do that. Texas Podcast Massacre @gmail.com. Send us your emails. We're in October. It's the most wonderful time of the year. There are tons of new movies out on streaming services and in the theaters for horror. This is a prime time horror time. That was not, it could have been worded better, but horror movies are coming out again. On a variety of platforms. Unfortunately, Jeepers Creepers Reborn is one of them. Future episode. Enjoy the season. We're going to. We should have some interesting crossover episodes coming up in the future and some other exciting stuff. So stay tuned.
Absolutely. All right. That's going to wrap it up for this week's episode. From all of us here at Texas Podcast Massacre, thank you so much for tuning in. And just keep telling yourself, it's only a movie. Good night.